This is my match footage from the FXRGC Gun April 2-Gun Action Challenge match. On this stage, it's called Obstacle Course, and the objective here is to engage targets, go under the stick, engage targets, go under the stick, and then come back around and not knock the sticks off the barrels. There are 3 targets that we're engaging. 2 targets are at 150 yards, and they are 2/3 size IPSC steel targets. And the 3rd target is a half-size IPSC target at 50 yards. So it's 1 hit on each steel from each of these positions. And while it wasn't raining during our match, it had rained a lot overnight and into the early morning. So it's hard to see in the video, but the ground was extremely muddy and very slippery. This was everybody's mistake throughout the whole match, was bracing on this rickety wall. When we set the stage up in the morning, we had to do some adjustments for angles because of one of the baffle support legs. It's kind of right in the middle. You can see it right there. So things got a little shifted around and a little offset in order to make sure that we had clear lines of sight to the targets from all of the positions. And so people were bracing on the wall, and by the end of the match, the wall collapsed.
Hey, if you were done.
For this stage, the object here is to engage each of those same 3 targets from each of the 3 positions on the ladder prop. Ground your rifle, grab a 20-pound ammo can, run it around the wall and barrels, come back, shoot from the next hole in the prop. Repeat that process again. Now, the problem we had when we set the stage up is with the ladder prop on the ground, you couldn't get the steel from the bottom 2 positions on the ladder. Your rounds would be impacting the 200-yard impact berm, so we had to make an adjustment on the fly. Welcome to the world of stage setup in the dark.
Hit! Hit! Hit!
No.
I hear it sounds like great activity.
Solid yeet.
Once you completed all 3 engagements of the steel targets, you unloaded your rifle, you showed clear to the RO, hauled butt down to about 25 yards from the 200-yard berm there, and engaged the steel plate with 4 hits from each of these 2 positions.
Unload, show clear. Good.
Yeah.
On this stage, there are 6 separate shooting positions. You're engaging that single steel target in the middle there. All of the positions have to be engaged. 1 round, hit on steel. The back 3 positions, strong hand only. The forward 3 positions, support hand only, while holding a 20-pound kettlebell. Now, my run through these 3 positions the first time around is a great example of how poor body position can really affect your aim and your hits, because I was basically bladed in the wrong direction for a solid one-handed support hand shoot. Once you complete the 6 positions, you basically run through them again. Now on my second run through here, support hand only, I've learned my lesson. I've got my body positioned much better, and my hit ratio is accordingly much better.
All right, shooter, if you're done, go ahead and show clear. That's good. Are you ready?
For this stage, you shoot the top pair of targets from 3 positions from a kneeling position. And in our matches, all large paper or any paper requires a minimum of 2 hits each. We use IDPA targets and we do score the points down. So instead of shooting the minimum 2 at each target, I shot 3 at each target for a bit of added insurance. And I needed it on 2 of these targets. Plus, it leaves me at slide lock when I ground the pistol, so the ROs don't have to be worrisome about a loaded gun on the ground. Once you engage all the pistol targets, you transition to your rifle and you engage the bottom pairs of targets from a prone position. Now, I will admit, I designed this stage deliberately for me because I'm not very good at getting in and out of kneeling, and I'm not very good at getting in and out of prone, mostly because my knees are shot. So I deliberately wanted this stage to practice that. And in the end, I wound up doing much better than I expected I would. In the end, I did better than I expected. Being a match director takes a lot out of you from setup and troubleshooting and running around all day until you finally get to shoot. So I'm happy with where I finished. Hope to see you in the future for more match coverage.